You are watching a multi-part series, and this is Chapter 6. So if you want to start on Chapter 1, you should click right here. Do it. Chapter 6, Deliverance. I drove east on Interstate 90 through northern Ohio, toward the heart of the sunrise. BBC accents talked dry politics on late-night NPR. I watched the road meet the horizon in the blue-gray glow of an early spring's dawn. White lines materialized and disappeared in the mute yellow reach of the headlights. I was alone with the road, a lowly passenger on a great ship, an ant on a castle. The cloudless, star-filled sky shifted from endless black to lighter and lighter shades of cerulean. It was the moment before the change, the ennui, the satori, the culmination and the beginning. The serpent was eating its own tail again. At the horizon, the road began to meet an amber haze that set the sky on fire. And then, as if from nowhere, it happened. The sun. A new day. Tomorrow came. It's as if time might have stood perfectly still in that moment, yet the great clockwork of the sky ticked on without me ever even noticing. Thwack! A large insect met its end on my windshield, directly in the center of my vision. A sign. A reminder. The imperfection of beauty, the cycle of day and night, of sun and sky, and of life and death. I stared at it, almost through it, at the dot on my windshield superimposed over the rising sun. I guess you could say I was in a weird mood. The first morning you wake up after you quit your job is like the morning after you break up with your girlfriend. Things seem both empty and hopeful at the same time. You've got no income source, but you've got your life back for a while. Same thing as breaking up. You're alone in your bed for the first time, but you've got that tingle in the shaft that says, hell, I can fuck anyone I want tonight. There aren't many times where you can both smile and be so lonely at the same time. You go down paths in life, sometimes, that you can only question afterward. Frost talked about two roads diverging in a wood, and that's a weak way to put it. There's no need to speak in metaphors when you're talking about your own life. It's a clear choice you're making when you pick a path. You can't predict the future, but you sure do have a whole lot to do with how it turns out in the end. The path you can take makes little difference compared to the destination. The first thing I did after I quit my job was call Hooper to tell him I would be emptying my savings account and driving straight to his apartment in North Carolina. Hell, that's what he'd done to me. I figured it was only reasonable that it was his turn to quarter the Borderline Vagabond. When I got there, I would be the road-worn saint. It would be me that found the main nerve and ran away like a frightened puppy that had just stuck its nose in a hornet's nest. First, I had to quit my job, which was something I'd been meaning to do for quite some time. You grow comfortable in your ways, worming your existence through a rut. I needed to break the cycle, I guess, or at least quit pushing cash register buttons and dealing with assholes for a while. I was one of the restaurant industry lifers. Every service sector has its lifers. I had spent nearly a decade managing restaurants when I walked out that evening and wanted no part of it any longer. When you're a salaried manager at a restaurant, all you have to look forward to is 20 hours of unpaid overtime a week, crew members not showing up, food outages, and angry customers. I walked into a whirlwind of a shift. The place was a mess. The server wasn't 18 and couldn't serve booze to the line of customers at the bar. The cooks were behind and out of most of what it took to complete the tickets. The delivery driver was washing dishes, and all 3 phone lines were on hold. The thought first crossed my mind to flee when the 16-year-old girl came up to me before I could even take off my coat and said, "Can I go on break? I have to call my boyfriend." The fury was only beginning to rise when the delivery driver handed me the phone. "Here, dude, this guy's pissed." He's pissed? This was my 5th straight day of this, and I had only been there 15 minutes into a 13-hour shift. I still hadn't even taken off my jacket. "Thanks for holding. What can I do for you today?" "I'll tell you what you can do. You can give me the fucking food I ordered half an hour ago. I'm just up the road. What the fuck is taking so long?" "Honestly, sir, I've just walked in. I have no idea why your food isn't done. When did you place the order?" 4:30, dumb fuck. I thought they said you were the manager. You should be on top of this shit." Another dumb mistake by the morning staff. Deliveries don't start until 5. They should have told him that. "I'm sorry, sir. I don't know why they took your order at 4:30 when the driver wasn't scheduled in until 5. "I don't give a fuck when your driver comes in. I want the food I ordered. I'm hungry." "Well, sir, it's now 10 after 5, and it looks like my driver has just left with your food. He should be there in a minute. Like you said, you're only up the road." I watched as the driver went through the door. "I could have walked down there and gotten it by myself by now. I'm not paying." That was almost the straw that broke the camel's back. He wasn't done yet, though. I knew he would keep pressing the issue. He could have fucking walked to the restaurant. The lazy piece of shit was paying $2 extra to have his food driven less than 2 blocks away. This situation was emblematic of the plague of laziness wrought by our convenience culture. "You're more than welcome to do that in the future, sir, and my driver will be right with you. I can always write a credit, but I can't refund you. I'm sorry." "Thanks for nothing," he says, before adding, "And, by the way, you're a shitty manager if you don't know what's going on in your store. It doesn't matter if you've just walked in. If you can't do your job, then fucking quit." There. Right there. That's where I had enough. It only took a split second for the change to come. 4 years of hard work were forgotten in an instant. Zang. "Ha! You're right, shit dick. I shouldn't be managing this dumb fucking restaurant in this dumb fucking town dealing with dumb fucking people like you. I fucking quit, and I hope the driver drops your food and charges you double, you miserable pile of dog vomit. How about you walk 2 blocks down the road instead of sitting on your ass in your apartment like the rest of this dumb fucking country? Go straight to fucking hell. I'll kick your ass when I get there." I slammed the phone to pieces on the counter, and I looked up to the packed dining room. Everybody's eyes were on me. I sure was famous then. I stopped for a moment, smiling, and looked at every single one of them, right in the fucking eyes. I grabbed my backpack, took a bow, and left, still wearing my jacket. And that is how you quit a job that you hate. Consequences be damned. A person just can't be asked to deal with things like that for very long. Everybody in the place, employees and customers alike, dumping their problems on you because you're the only one smart enough to do something about it. Fuck them. Let them solve their own bullshit problems. I would never rag on someone for trying to get their job done, in public or in private, even if I knew them. Things don't always run smoothly. Mistakes are made, and people forget things. It happens. There's no reason to get miserably irate with someone just because your food is a few minutes late. A call? Sure. Why not? Couldn't hurt to let us know when there's a problem. Never yelling. That does not help. I promise. Fuck it. Who cares? Enough thought about that. History. Nothing more. I need more cigarettes. Sometimes I talk out loud to myself when I'm driving alone. It's kind of like praying, only someone is actually listening. Another way to put it would be that I was telling my story to the road. The road will always listen. If you lean in close and keep a close eye on the horizon, you can hear the road whispering its eternal reply. Keep on just ahead. Round the bend. Just over the next hill. Keep pushing forward. Cleveland. Sounds good. I took the first Cleveland exit and found a gas station. After I fueled up and bought a pack of cigarettes, I parked the car to eat a sandwich and listen to some music before getting back on the road. I caught a glance from a group of Amish as they got out of a bus. I couldn't figure out why they were all looking at me until I realized I was the only other person in the parking lot and that I was listening to the Devon Townsend Project at considerable volume with the windows down. Devi is a little much for the Amish, I fear. They may still be scared of me to this day, and they never even knew who I was. Much less did they even bother to ask. I don't want to offend the Amish. I'm not really even that scary. What might it be like for them, on the way to the city, on the Ohio Turnpike, watching me smoke cigarettes in the early morning fog, them watching me watch them? Which of us is the wiser? Why are the Amish driving across Ohio in a bus? Isn't that a faux pas? Against their religion or some strange anachronistic fear of machinery? Maybe they can get inside of it, they just can't operate it. I don't know. Who cares about the Amish anyway? I caught the gaze of a suburban-looking woman in her late 40s wearing a tracksuit. She paced in front of the entrance, gabbing away on her phone and smoking a cigarette, presumably waiting to visit the washroom. Had she seen the Amish? She gave me a look that said to me, "Weird fucking Amish, huh?" It was time to leave, I figured, and I left the rest stop in a huff. I didn't even take the time to finish my sandwich.